Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. You know, sometimes when you do videos with breaking news, you can get things right. Sometimes you can get things wrong. Sometimes you can get things really right. Sometimes you can get things really wrong. And most of the time, it's just somewhere in between those extremes. Yesterday, we had a really new, interesting set of offers. Not just because the limits were raised from what we saw during Cyber Week, but because the limits were reflected on the Kabam website store for the first time, which, yes, technically, say it with me, means that the economy of the game changed forever. Unless, of course, Kabam forgot to label the fact that it didn't. And yours truly received messages in the last 12 hours or so of people so upset that they have no idea what to do. They're upset because, you see, they started by purchasing the Limit 4 offers from the in-game store, which, all things equal, are not equal. And we're just going to take these top two offers at face value for this video, because this is what, of course, are the most two expensive offers. And you'll notice that, yes, it says available 4 out of 4 by each. You'll also notice that nowhere on this website or in the in-game app does it say that the limits are combined. So you had people who started, and yes, you would call them whales, big spenders, whatever. They're keeping the lights on at Kabam. That's all I know, because I haven't spent a penny on this event yet, and I'm not sure I will. Maybe I'll get the Valiant offer, which even that makes me feel a little strange. But anyhow, I think you can tell that there's a big difference between 5,115 units for the Odin and 4,650. And when it comes to buying these specifically for Greater Banquet crystals, yeah, you're literally getting more than an extra Greater Banquet crystal worth of units as a bonus for going through the Kabam website versus the Kabam store. But if you didn't know they were combined, you could start by buying out these offers and then going to the website only to see, and I'm not going to show the messages that were sent to me just in case I accidentally reveal any personal info from anyone, but you'll see an error. And you'll think, an error? Is this website just broken? Well, no. Because you already purchased 4, you do not get to purchase anything on the website. Now, Kabam put in the forums, and we discovered this last night in my broadcast, the warning. But who says to themselves, like literally, is there anyone who says to themselves, before I purchase these holiday offers, I need to go to the forums to see if Kabam messed up? That is not a normal thought for anybody, because it shouldn't be a normal thought for anybody, because the actual responsibility for this kind of issue doesn't fall on the player, it falls on the company that makes the offers. And Kabam, a forum post disclaimer, is not only not enough, it is a really, really bad look. If I was one of these players, I would be furious, because I trusted a company that has never messed up like this in terms of the limits. If it was limit 4 on the website and limit 1 on the website, and I should say limit 4 in the game like we saw during Cyber Week, things would make sense. But then it's actually limit 5. But they were never combined limits. For Cyber Week or July 4th week, they just said, hey, if you want to buy another Allfather Odin's Vault or another Black Panther's Treasure, you can, and we'll give you more units. But chances are a lot of people started in the game and didn't go to the website until after. I think that's also normal behavior. Although now it's forcing players to not have things so normal. But the other thing that I think we need to take away from this is, I think Kabam is still very scared of what Apple and Google Play could do to them if they try to take advantage of this window to make money without paying the 30% fee when you purchase an App Store purchase. Because Kabam is not saying, okay, you get 8 purchases now. They're saying, no, we're just sharing them which I still don't understand the rationale behind that. Maybe I never will. But the bottom line is this, and this is the real takeaway from this video. The players that trusted Kabam to list the purchase limits and have them be separate of each other, which has always been the case until now, should be furious because they got scammed out of more units. And if all things are equal, and there are some players who've told me, Prof, I know you talk about the Kabam website, I don't trust it, I don't purchase anything on it, I'm saying to them, well, why not at least get your free crystal every day? That doesn't cost any cash. And or your free Legends crystal every week. That also doesn't cost cash. If you don't want to do that, I don't know what to say to you because I feel like you're just leaving things on the table. But for now, this is just a nightmare situation for someone who says, I wish I could just get all my refunds and then just buy the purchase limits on the website. But because Kabam controls all the refunds, good luck getting them to empathize with you. If I'm Kabam, I'm thinking about compensation to some degree because you cost those players units. But if you give them compensation, the people who didn't purchase it are going to be furious. So what do? I'm not telling you I have the answers, but I do get why these players are furious. And because Kabam didn't tell them that they were shared purchase limits and literally cost them units for the same amount of purchases, I think the fair thing to do would be to give those players, and again, I'm not saying this is the solution, it's just a suggestion, give those players the difference in units between what they lost between not going to the website and what they spent in the game. I used to think compensation packages like that weren't really possible, but then I saw what they did for the players that opened the 7-star crystals early that were bugged and had the visual new champs added in, but not the actual champs in the real. So we know Kabam can do some really slick things with going into the accounts for figuring out not only time of when things were purchased, but whether or not things were bugged. So I'm going to assume, since this is for cash, that they know which players maxed out the purchases in the in-game store, which did not allow them a chance to buy any more of that same tier in the website store. So, what would this look like? Well, let's say that you bought immediately all 4 All-Father Odin's vaults for 4,650 units each, only to find that you cost yourself the difference between 4,650 and 5,115. 5,115 minus 4,160. That's just such a big difference. Or 5,115. This is where doing math is not good on the fly. 5,115 minus 4,650 times 4. Those players are owed 1,860 units worth of compensation. That's the difference. And 1,800 units is, of course, this is much easier math, 6 bonus Greater Banquet Crystals, which, yes, 6 bonus Greater Banquet Crystals could be the difference in more rewards if you purchase them and open them. Every one of these counts towards the sweetest, sickest, most valuable rank rewards we've ever seen for both the solo and alliance events. So, all in all, I don't know what to tell you, but I know that these players should be upset because just from the first example, they cost themselves 1,860 units by going through the Kabam in-game, not website store first. That is my rant for this issue today. I promised several people behind the scenes I'd do a video on this as a follow-up. And if you're watching this video, I kept my promise.